Adam Chris
Go.
for my MMAnews.com, being joined by educated hands himself, Reggie Barnett. He's taking a little road trip right now into the new year. He's on his way to North Carolina to get some fresh looks, some fresh sparring in right now. And I got the pleasure to be joined by him right now. Reggie Barnett, brother, what's going on? It's always a pleasure to catch up. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year, Adam. Thank you so much for having me on. Sorry we on the road. We had to reschedule, and I didn't want to reschedule again. You've always looked out. You've always been a big supporter of mine. So I figured, take you along for the ride a little bit.
Hey, I appreciate being along for the ride, man. So we're going to break this down. Obviously, I told you we wanted to talk some BKFC, and we wanted to talk about your side ventures with educated minds right there on your headpiece there, your head wrap, your bandana, as you will. But BKFC right now, man, you were there since the inception. Obviously, we've talked about that. You were at tryouts, right? BKFC has come so far in such a short time, man. What's it like being on this wild roller coaster?
It's a roller coaster, definitely. There's definitely a lot of highs. There's definitely some lows and, a few plateaus. But like you said, it's definitely a roller coaster, and it's exciting. You don't know what's going to happen next sometime, what's around the next turn. And so I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of the ride and continue to help this industry and this sport build.
So we have BKFC KnuckleMania coming up. They got Britton Hart against Paige Van Zandt. They have Johnny Bedford against Dat Nguyen. We'll get into that in itself because I know you have a lot to say on that. So
yeah, we'll get into
that. Are you a little apprehensive or maybe even upset that you're not going to be on KnuckleMania? It's a huge card.
I'm just upset about not being on KnuckleMania. I really wanted to fight on that card. Like whether it was a title fight or not, I just wanted to fight on that card. But it's all good. I'm definitely going to be in the house. Make sure my face is seen. Ooh, my bad, man. That light is hitting us when we get here. And go have some fun and always support the BKFC. So, and I want to see how KnuckleMania, the first named. Well, no, wait. One of the other ones was a named event. What was it called? Next generation or something like. Well, no, it was the second event. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah. So, but KnuckleMania, that just sounds like I don't even know. So I'm excited to see how it turns
out. So I do kind of ask because when you were in the ring and you were fighting Abby, you had somebody on the outside of the ring that was being a little antagonist to you. Now that you have the chance to be on the other end of the rope, are you going to be that petty and give them that same treatment back? But talking about between Dat Nguyen and Johnny Bedford, when you were fighting Abby, he was on the outside. You and him had a confrontation afterwards. Are you going to reciprocate?
No, because I'm not a coward like him. This is a gentleman's sport. Like I said in my previous comments, that's disrespectful to being there distracting a man when he's essentially fighting for his life. So I'm going to give him the respect that he didn't give me because I'm the better person at the end of the day. And I'm going to prove that when we finally fight too. But outside of him in there fighting Bedford, though, it's fair game. So and that's all I got to say.
So I have a feeling those old words on site might mean something, but that's neither here nor there. So we'll move forward from that. But so anyway, getting into Johnny Bedford and Dat Nguyen in itself, just the fight itself from an outsider's perspective, and you being a fighter, what's your take on that fight? Because it is an interesting fight.
It is an interesting fight. We're gonna see if Dat is really that, can really that elite level boxer, whatever he says he is, that he brings to bare knuckle. And then against a real bare knuckle fighter, because me and Johnny happen to be one of the few actual. There's a difference between being an MMA fighter and a boxer and a bare knuckle fighter. It took me a while to finally come into my own, but I think in my last couple of fights, you've seen the transition that I had from being, a great, elite level boxer coming into the sport of bare knuckle and transitioning into an actual legitimate bare knuckle fighter, because there's a difference. And so we're going to see who can implement their game plan. And if the elite level boxer can beat the real bare knuckle fighter, because I think in essence that was the difference between me and Johnny in our fight too. Of course I went in there boxing minded, and when I got off the canvas, all the boxing went out of the world, and I tried to fight him as a bare knuckle fighter, but I wasn't prepared for that yet. I hadn't, manifested. I hadn't, birthed that yet out of myself. So, and like I said, I'm a different fighter now. I truly believe that the fight between me and Johnny is going to be completely different. I believe that a fight between me and Dak Gwynn's not even going to be a contest. And knowing that and believing that in my heart, I don't feel like Dak's going to beat Johnny. It's just a matter of, and I don't think he has that heart too. I don't think he's built like us.
Do you think that if you think what you are saying comes true, do you think you're next in line to fight Johnny Bedford if Dak loses this fight? Or do you think you have something else you need to take on first? Do you potentially want to have that Dak fight? What do you think is going to be next when all this plays out?
After it all plays out, of course, when Johnny wins, I should be next in line, however long it takes him to lick his wounds. But we all know that they're pitching to put him in a 145-pound tournament, which I can respect that. And so the only thing that I would initially respectfully ask is that, me and Johnny spoke about this tournament, this manifestation of 135-pound weight class, and all this drama you see was, the initial conversation between me and Johnny Bedford at the very first BKFC. And I didn't really know him that well. He didn't know me that well, but we knew we were going to fight each other at some point. And then all the rest of it is born out of it. I know out of the respect as a sportsman and that we have for each other, either he will stay and fight me or he'll move on and allow me to fight somebody else for that belt once he's solidified, because he knows that there's a difference between being, I'm trying to get the light out of the way. There's a difference between being a champion and being the belt holder, right? And he said that himself, that he was not going to leave the weight class without defending it. And I respect that. And if he's not going to stay and be a reigning champ after he's solidified himself as being an actual champion and not just a belt holder. Ooh, excuse me. Thank you. I would hope that, he would move forward and go grab the other strap.
It is what it is, man. We'll see what happens, but obviously I can't wait to see how it all plays out, because the 135-pound division is very interesting, and especially with all the drama at the top.
Let's see. They just brought Brandon Lambert in. I guess he's fighting Jarrett Grant at KnuckleMania. I was a little salty about that, but It's all good.
You wanted one of them?
All good. What?
You wanted one of them?
No, I didn't want to fight one of them. Like I said, I wanted to fight on KnuckleMania, but it's all good. It's all good. But I'm also, pleased to see that young man get to grow. And then Brandon wanted his opportunity, so we'll see what he can come out and do, and if he's really about this bare knuckle life. And on like you said, one of the biggest cards starting out the year. So we'll go from there. And I love how they always say, what is it? It's January. The card's in February, and they're like, oh, it's the biggest card of the year. What the heck are y'all talking about? It's the biggest card thus far. We don't know what else is going to happen, who else is going to come into the league and, shake things up, and what may manifest itself. So,
what do you think about with all the talent coming into BKFC with Yuli Diaz? He's going to be on the card.
It's cool. But at a certain point, you got to prove yourself. We want to see the knockouts, and we want to see the excitement. And I have the most amount of respect and love for Yuli Monster. I'm a fan of his. But at the same time, we want to see also that bare knuckle grit. If you really about this bare knuckle life, and like Julian Lane, like Thiago Alves, like Jesse Lamas, these guys who can go out there and put on and knock people out, but also can get in there and freaking fight. You got to be able to do both. And so I'm waiting to see that part of his game too.
So which takes us on to the probably the featured fight of the evening, one of the biggest announcements that BKFC's come out with Paige Van Zant, and she's taking on Britain Hart. Tell us your take on it, man.
Oh man, I I don't even really know where to go, man. I'm interested to see how it plays out. In all honesty,
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
we know that Paige can fight, but can you knuckle up? There's a big difference.
Mm.
And we know that Britain is not the best bare knuckle fighter out there, but she can knuckle up, and her heart, for real, she does have a ton of it, and she's gotten a little better. Well, she's showed a lot of improvement, and she's gonna need some more. To be honest, I spoke with her ahead of her fight. You know, well, I didn't speak with her. We messaged back and forth, and so she knows what she's got to do, and so hopefully we'll see what happens. I want to see an interesting, an exciting fight now. I want to see these two ladies
Yeah.
go to war, and I want to see Paige prove why she deserves to be in this league, put on such a high pedestal above everybody else who's already been here and put in their time and their effort, other than a pretty face and the money she's brought over.
Mhm.
Brother, stop texting me. Oh my goodness, my brother got in a car accident.
Oh, dude, I am sorry. Do you need me to let you go?
Nah. Look, what am I gonna do? I'm on my way to North Carolina. He'll be all right.
Gotcha.
I messaged him, but and then hopefully Britain will go out there and push Paige to the point of bringing out her own greatness. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
How about Quentin Henry and Chris Leben, who's also scheduled for the fight
Oh
or for the card?
man, I don't know why they did that to me, man. That's just look. I love Chris Leben. He's
Mm-hmm.
a great guy, a gentleman. Um, I never thought in a million years in my lifetime. Yeah, we're getting out in the sticks, getting that poor connection. I
Uh,
never thought in a million years in my lifetime that I can you still hear me?
I
Oh,
can
there
hear.
we go. That I would get to fight on a card with like pretty much a combat sports legend. I remember
Right.
sharing a locker room with him for the BKFC 6. So it
Mm.
was just like I'm always a Chris Leben fan, but you gotta love Quentin Henry. And the thing
Mm.
about him is he's a real fighter. Like you already know that he about this knuckle up life. So there's no question, and we know that Chris Leben is too. And he's coming out to fight, and he's trying to go out on a high note as far as his career. So we'll see. For me, it's a toss up. It's a pick 'em fight right there. We'll see which Chris Leben we get. And we already know what Quentin Henry's coming out to do. He's coming out to knock Christian
Oh
Leben's
yeah.
head off. His
Yeah.
game does not change. So
Mm-mm. So what
I'm
will be? We'll
excited.
close it down now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. The whole card's going to be amazing. Obviously, wish you were on it, one of the BKFC OGs, but winding it down because, like you said, you're going in the sticks, starting to get a little poor connection. What's your year shaping up to be like? 2021. Do you have any like insight you want to fill us in on your next fight ventures? Whether it be, I saw you training with our guy Dallas Manspile. Do you have MMA in the card? Do you have some boxing? Is it all BKFC this year? What's going on with you?
We're gonna do both. We're gonna do boxing and BKFC. I wanted to fight on January 30th with my teammate, but the undefeated guy on the card don't want to risk losing his O to me, as always. It's weird for to go back to boxing now because they either offer me, guys that are 15, 16, 17 and 0 in a weight class above me, or they offer me the guys in my weight class like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. Um, and then sometimes they'll be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we'll fight him. That's cool." They'll look at my boxing record, and then they'll go and they'll pull up the bare knuckle side of my record, and they'll be like, "Oh,
Mm.
it's that guy." No, 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 we don't want to fight him. 'Cause I'm a hazard. I'm a risk. I may not win. I may lose, but it's always a risk, and they know it's going to be a real fight. So and in
Uh,
boxing, you know how that game goes. It's politics. Everybody's trying to build their record to a certain point. Blah
mm.
blah blah. Blah. I just like to fight. To fight. I'm not really too much of a consider myself a boxer. I'm not a journeyman or by any means. Bare knuckle is my sport, but if a good fight comes along, I will. Dave said March, So we're in shape. We're ready to go. Like I said, I want him, to bring in somebody scary for me. Bring in somebody who you feel, without a doubt, is going to beat me. And let's do
that.
it.
That wakes you up. That gets you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Oh, man.
that's so crazy because some people, like you said, like we were just talking about the people that like padding the record, and then the people that they want the monsters to come out and attack. That's just It's such a different turn in sports and in fighting in itself. It's so interesting.
Well, I mean, if we really, come full circle, and I'm gonna talk some shit. Dat fought somebody who was 3-1 when he was 16-1. How does that do anything for you as a fighter? How does that make you better? That's padding your record. That's what, the type of fighter that he is. And that's why I know that he's not going to beat Johnny. That's why I know that he can't beat me. We're built differently.
Well, I can't wait to see whatever fight comes down your way happen, whether it be Dat, whether it be Johnny. I look forward to it, man. BKFC KnuckleMania is looking to be fantastic. Would be even better if you were on the card, but hey, things happen and we'll wait for another day, my friend.
It's all good.
I will let you get to training.
Always shake some things up. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, brother, it's always a pleasure. We'll chop it up soon about educated hands. Like we said, I do want to talk about that because, like I said, being in the education field, I feel like it's so important to talk about the kids and everything, making sure that they get the education and proper education they need and the social adapt that they need. It's just everything coming full circle. I love talking with you, man. I'll let you go and get your sparring in. I appreciate you taking the time, Reggie.
Thank you so much, Adam. I'll shoot you a message after we get done kicking butt this afternoon, and we'll schedule to sit down and do the other interview.
All right, brother. Have fun. Go tear some shit up over there, and we'll talk soon. For Reggie Barnett, I'm Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to mymmanews.com for all your fight news needs.